AITA for not letting my mother-in-law come over after she destroyed my Millennium Falcon Lego set? Alright, I don't even know where to start with this mess. Maybe the part where I woke up to find my $850 LEGO Millennium Falcon, the one I spent literal months building with my son, in pieces on the floor with a damn handwritten note next to it like some low-budget Bond villain. But let me back up. I'm 38, engineer, married to my wife, Lila, who's 37 and works insane hours at a law firm. We've got a 7-year-old son who's basically a smaller version of me. Kid loves Star Wars, building stuff, and cereal for dinner when mom's not home. Anyway, building Lego has always been my thing. Like, I know it's dorky, but I don't care. Some dudes golf, some fish. I build stuff out of tiny bricks and display them in my office like little trophies. My son's gotten into it with me, and it's kinda our bonding thing. The Millennium Falcon was our biggest build ever. We started in October, finished right after New Year's. I mean, this thing was massive. We made a whole night of it, root beer floats, Empire Strikes Back on in the background, even let the dog hang out in the office, which is normally a no-dog zone. It was legit one of the best memories I've made with him. Now cut to March. Lila's parents come to stay with us for a week. They live in Florida, retired, very much into golf, HOA meetings, and pretending everything is fine when it very much isn't. Her dad's cool, like he's chill, makes dad jokes, eats all the snacks in the pantry. Her mom though, Joyce, she's a different breed. First night they're over, we're giving them the tour. I show them the office with my Lego setup, the Falcon, a few modular buildings, the Titanic one I did during COVID. Her dad's like, wow, that's actually impressive. Joyce looks at it like it's a pile of old socks and goes, well, I suppose everyone has their silly little hobbies. Whatever, I brush it off. People don't have to love it, just don't be a jerk about it. Next night at dinner, out of nowhere, Joyce goes, you know, men your age should be thinking about their legacy, not wasting time playing with toys. And I just kind of laughed awkwardly and said, it's Lego, not heroin, Joyce. Lila gave me the look like, please don't start a war, so I left it. I figured she's old school, grew up in the 50s, probably thinks therapy is a scam and men should be CEOs or whatever. Fast forward to the day they leave. They had a super early flight, like 5 a.m., so we said our goodbyes the night before and I thought that was it. Next morning, I go into the office before work to grab my laptop and just froze. The Falcon was destroyed, like someone had picked it up and just slammed it. Pieces everywhere. Little Han Solo head rolling under my desk. I stood there for a full minute trying to process what I was looking at. And there it was. A folded note on my keyboard, written in cursive like she was Martha Stewart disciplining a teenager. You need to grow up and be the man your family deserves. This is for your own good. What the hell? I honestly thought it was a prank at first, like my buddy Mike messing with me. But nope, Lila confirmed it. Joyce had gotten up early, gone into the office, and wrecked the whole thing before they left for the airport. I didn't even know what to say. My son came home from school, saw the wreckage, and started crying. Like real confused 7-year-old sobbing. He asked if we got robbed. I said no, but didn't tell him the full story. What was I gonna say? Grandma rage smashed your starship because she thinks your dad's a loser? I tried calling her. She didn't answer. Texted her. She replied, I understand you're upset, but someday you'll thank me for this. Lady, what, is this intervention by Lego destruction? So yeah, I told her she's not welcome back until she apologizes. She hasn't. Lila is livid with me, says I'm overreacting, that it's just a toy, and that's how her mom is. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be the guy who lets someone bulldoze over his kid's happiness and just shrugs. I don't care if she's family. What she did was psycho. Now Lila's cold shouldering me, her mom's doubling down, and I'm sleeping in the guest room because my attitude is creating tension. I seriously don't know if I'm losing it or if everyone around me is just living on another planet. Okay, so here's where it really starts to spiral. After the whole Lego massacre, I thought maybe, once the initial shock wore off, Lila would see how messed up it was. Like, sure, she rolls her eyes at my hobby sometimes, but she's always been supportive-ish. She bought me the Home Alone set for Christmas, for God's sake. But instead, she doubled down. We were in the kitchen that night, both pretending to load the dishwasher like we weren't stewing in silence, and I finally go, so you really don't think your mom owes me an apology? She closes the dishwasher harder than necessary and goes, honestly, I think you're being dramatic. Dramatic? I was like, Lila. She came into our house, smashed something you know means a lot to me and our kid, left a passive-aggressive manifesto, and dipped. That's not just rude, it's deranged. And then she hits me with, you care more about plastic toys than family. I just stared at her, like I couldn't even find words. I said, it's not the toy, Lila. It's the fact that your mom destroyed something that me and our son built together. It was ours. It was a thing we were proud of. She kind of scoffed and muttered, I wouldn't exactly call it an accomplishment. Man, that stung more than I want to admit. So I said, all right, let's say I hated your antique vase collection. If I smashed one and left a note telling you it was for your own good, how would that go over? She didn't answer, just looked at me like I was being ridiculous, then walked off to fold laundry like we weren't having a real conversation. The next morning, my son, who I thought was bouncing back, told me he didn't want Grandma Joyce to come over again. We were in the car, just the two of us, grabbing donuts before his karate class, and out of nowhere he goes, is Grandma mad at you? I said, what do you mean? He goes, she broke our ship. That's a mean thing. I don't want her to come back. I said, I know, buddy. That wasn't nice. We're gonna fix it, though, together. And he asked, can we make it even better? I told him, yeah, we'd rebuild it and we'd make it cooler than before. Maybe add lights or something. That conversation should have been sweet. It was sweet. But all I could think was, how is a 7-year-old handling this better than my wife? Anyway, later that day I get a group text from Joyce. Me, Lila, her dad, and Joyce all on one chain. She sends this big, long, condescending message that starts with, I hope we can all move on from this little misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? She goes on about family values, modern distractions, and something about how mothers have a duty to guide their children and grandchildren toward productive pursuits. No apology, not even a fake one, just, let's not dwell on the past energy. I replied with one sentence, you're not welcome in my house until you apologize to me and your grandson. Then I muted the chat. A few hours later, Lila storms into the room holding her phone like it bit her. You embarrassed my mom in front of my dad. I said, your mom embarrassed herself. I didn't tell her to smash a Lego ship like a lunatic. And she goes, you're just mad because someone finally told you the truth, that you're hiding behind toys instead of aiming higher in life. That hit different. I said, you really think I'm some kind of failure because I like Lego? She didn't say yes, she didn't say no either. She just stood there. We ended up in this weird standoff for the rest of the night. I watched The Mandalorian in the guest room with headphones on. She locked the bedroom door. And the next morning, she booked brunch with her parents without telling me. Just straight up left the house while I was making waffles for me and the kid. No, do you want to come? No, let's talk. Just gone. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. I feel like I'm married to someone who thinks I'm beneath her. And I never saw it before. Like, she used to brag to people about my job, my work ethic, how good I am with our kid. Now all of a sudden, I'm just the man-child with toys who doesn't aim higher? Joyce might have smashed the Falcon, but I feel like Lila took a sledgehammer to something else entirely. Okay, so, after the brunch ambush, I figured we were just gonna ignore each other for a while and pretend everything was fine until someone snapped. You know, the married couple classic. Cold War, but with passive-aggressive laundry folding and heavy cupboard slamming. But nope. Monday afternoon, I work from home, right? I'm on a Zoom call with my team, literally giving a presentation, when I hear the front door open. I'm thinking it's Lila. She said she might be back early. Except I hear two voices, hers and Joyce's. I muted my mic mid-sentence and sat there for a second like, nah, I must have misheard. No way. Then I hear, it's okay, I'll just go straight to the kitchen. Yep, Joyce, in my damn house. After I told her, clearly, not to come back until she apologized. And Lila just let her in. I jump off the call, thank God for understanding coworkers. Walk into the living room, and there she is, Joyce, in my kitchen, wearing those orthopedic sandals and eating my pistachio ice cream like she owns the place. She looks up, all casual. Oh, hello. Like she didn't smash the Millennium Falcon a few days ago and declare war on fun. Lila's sitting at the dining table scrolling her phone like it's no big deal. I said, what the hell is she doing here? I didn't yell, but my voice definitely came out sharp. Joyce goes, Lila invited me, I brought soup. I ignored her and looked at my wife. We talked about this. I told you she's not welcome here until she apologizes. Lila goes, well, I live here too and I want her here. You don't get to make unilateral decisions. I said, it's not unilateral. It's called having boundaries. She broke something important to our son and hasn't even pretended to be sorry. Joyce cuts in with that smug tone old people get when they think they're being wise. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but maybe this was a wake-up call you needed. I laughed, not in a funny way. I laughed because it was so ridiculous I couldn't believe I was living it. I said, you don't get to destroy someone's property and then act like you're the victim. Joyce, it's not property, it's a toy. It's time to grow up, Kevin. Kevin, my name's Evan. I've been married to her daughter for 10 years and she still gets my name wrong half the time. She does it on purpose, I swear. So I said, cool. If you think so little of me and what I do in my own home, you can leave. Lila stood up and goes, no, she's staying for dinner. And I just stared at her like, what? She goes, this is my house too. I'm tired of you acting like your weird little hobby is sacred and everyone else is the problem. That was the moment. The actual honest-to-God moment I realized I wasn't mad about the Lego anymore. I was mad because my wife wasn't on my team, not even close. So I said, all right, then I'll leave. Lila goes, are you serious? I said, yup. Grabbed my keys, walked out. No yelling, no slamming, just walked out. Went to Mike's place, my buddy from work, texted him, don't ask, just pour, and crashed on his couch with a bottle of Jack and an old Star Wars marathon. Mike was like, bro, is this really over Lego? And I said, that's what everyone thinks, but it's not about Lego. It's about being disrespected over and over and everyone acting like I'm the problem for not just smiling through it. He nodded and said, damn, okay, fair. But also, you gotta stop letting people walk over your boundaries just to keep the peace. You're not her doormat, man. And he's right. I have been doing that for years, honestly. Not just with Joyce, with Lila too. The next day, I didn't go home. I called my boss, took a personal day, and picked up my kid from school early. We went to that indie toy shop in downtown Chicago, the one with the nerdy employees who treat every Lego set like it's an Oscar winner, and I bought us a brand new Millennium Falcon. He goes, why are we getting another one? I said, because we're gonna build it better this time, stronger. No one's touching this one. He smiled. Biggest smile I'd seen in days. Later that night, Lila texted me, we need to talk, you're being childish, please come home. I didn't reply, not because I'm ghosting her, but because I'm not gonna keep explaining myself to someone who refuses to hear me. So now I'm at Mike's for night number 2. Me, him, his dog, and the Falcon box sitting in the corner like a giant middle finger to the chaos. And I'm honestly sitting here wondering, is this marriage actually fixable? Or have we both just been tolerating each other for way too long? So I finally went home, not because I was ready to forgive anyone, but because I didn't want my son to think Dad just disappeared over a pile of bricks. That's the part people keep missing in all this. It wasn't about Lego, it was about us, me and my kid. Something we built together. Anyway, I got home Thursday evening. My son ran up to me the second I opened the door, gave me a huge hug, asked if we were still gonna rebuild. I said, yeah, of course. I even got the upgraded set. His face lit up like I told him we were moving to Disneyland. Then I stepped into the kitchen. Lila was there, arms crossed, face already in that don't start expression. You know the one. Before I could say anything, she goes, so you're just back now? I said, I came to see our son and to pick up a few things. She scoffs, what is this, some dramatic midlife crisis? You gonna run off and start a YouTube channel for man babies? I ignored the jab, didn't even flinch, just walked past her to grab my laptop, some clothes, and a few other things I'd left behind. That's when she saw the Millennium Falcon box sitting by the door. The new one. She stops mid-sentence, points at it, and goes, you're actually serious about this? After everything? I said, yeah, because it matters to me and to him, and you don't get to decide what matters. And then she said it, the sentence that hit me like an unexpected gut punch. If you walk out with that box, don't come back. Like, what? I looked at her, really looked, and I realized she meant it. Over a Lego set, or I guess over what the Lego set represents to her. Some sign that I'm not serious enough, or manly enough, or aspirational enough. I picked up the box, and I walked out. No words, just walked out. I didn't even get a block away before the text started coming in. First from her, then from her mom, then her aunt who lives in Arizona. Like what even? Here's what the messages said roughly. Lila, you're choosing toys over your family. Real mature. Joyce, I hope your son doesn't grow up to be as weak as you. Aunt Brenda, we all have to grow up sometime, Evan. Again, my name's Evan, not Kevin, not the boy with toys. Evan. So now I'm staying with Mike still, and the kid's been FaceTiming me every night asking when we can start building. I told him soon. I'm trying to figure out how, because Lila's not exactly making custody chats easy right now. She's reevaluating the stability of our home environment, whatever the hell that means. And when I suggested we split weekends for now, she said, I'm not letting him grow up thinking this is normal. You mean what? Having a dad who builds things with him? Or having a grandma who smashes them? And here's the wildest part. Remember how Joyce originally said she destroyed the Falcon so I'd focus on what matters? Well, guess who's been posting all over Facebook this week? Joyce. Multiple photos of Lila at some work function. Fancy blazer, big corporate backdrop, with captions like, so proud of my daughter and the amazing legacy she's building. Legacy. That word keeps coming up. And I realized this isn't just about me. Joyce has spent her whole life building this image. Her daughter is the big-time lawyer, married to an engineer. Respectable, polished, Christmas card perfection. Me building Lego with my son doesn't fit that narrative. They think it's small, silly, weak. But here's the thing, building something with your kid for hours, side by side, brick by brick, that's not weakness, that's being present. That's more than Joyce ever did with Lila, I guarantee it. Lila told me once, way back when we were dating, that her mom used to cancel on her a lot. Too busy for piano recitals. Had meetings during science fairs. Her dad was there mostly. But her mom? Always just a step away. Always striving, always too important to just be a mom for a few hours. And now she's trying to mold our kids' world into that same system. Nah, not on my watch. So yeah, I walked out with the box. And right now, I don't know if I'm heading toward divorce or just a long, ugly standoff. But I know one thing for sure. My son and I are gonna build that Falcon. Again. Together. And it's gonna be stronger than ever. So, it's been 3 weeks since I walked out with that Lego box. 3 weeks of sleeping on Mike's lumpy-ass futon, drinking way too much Mountain Dew, dodging texts from people I haven't heard from in years, all of them suddenly worried about my mental state. Apparently, saying no to a toxic mother-in-law is now a sign that I've completely lost it. Cool, good to know. But also, a lot of people did reach out in a good way. My sister? She called me crying, said she never forgot how Joyce made her feel low class at our wedding because she wore Converse under her dress. My old coworker Nate, guy I haven't talked to in 2 years, messaged me out of nowhere and said, "Man, I remember you talking about building that Falcon with your kid. Don't let anyone tell you that's not real sut." And yeah, that helped. So anyway, the actual update. The Falcon? We built it. It took 5 days, 2 late-night serial runs, 1 near meltdown over a missing cockpit piece, it was under the couch, and way too many fart jokes, but we built that sucker. And it's beautiful. We added LED lights this time, little stormtrooper minifigs hanging off the edge like they're mid-battle. My son made a mini kitchen inside it with a tiny coffee machine made out of 4 studs. So Han Solo doesn't get sleepy, he said. I almost cried, man. We did it all from Mike's living room, by the way. His dog stepped on a base plate at one point and yelped so loud we thought she broke something. Didn't. But she definitely won't be going near the Lego corner again. Anyway, Lila finally came by last Saturday. She knocked, didn't text, just showed up. I opened the door. She looked tired, worn out, like someone who hasn't been sleeping much. And her first words weren't hi or can we talk or I miss you. They were, I didn't know how far gone we were. I let her in. We sat on the couch. My kid was with my sister for the day, so it was just us and Mike's empty pizza boxes. She said, I keep thinking about that night, how I told you to choose, like it was the Lego or the marriage. That was cruel. And then for the first time in years, she said something that actually sounded like her, the old her. You were right, about all of it. I let my mom control too much. She gets in my head and it's easier to let her win than deal with the fight. But she's wrong. You're a great dad. That Falcon? That's more than a toy. I see that now. I just nodded. I didn't know what to say. I wasn't gonna let her off the hook that easy, but I also wasn't gonna kick her while she was down. Then she pulls out this envelope. Inside, a handwritten card from Joyce. And it said, Evan, I apologize for overstepping. I didn't realize how much that Lego set meant to you and your son. I shouldn't have touched it and I was wrong to judge. I hope you'll let me make it right. That's it. That's the whole thing. No dramatic flourish. No, I see the light now speech, but it was written by her. That woman who once called my career cute and called me Kevin for 8 years straight. She signed it correctly too. I'm not gonna lie, I still don't trust her, and I sure as hell don't want her alone in a room with anything valuable, plastic or otherwise. But the apology mattered, mostly because Lila made it happen. She told me she refused to speak to her mom for a week, said she was done playing peacekeeper at the cost of her own family. I believed her. Now we're doing weekly family counseling. Not some fix-it-in-a-session garbage, but real, awkward, uncomfortable, honest work. I'm back home now, not full-time, like 4 nights a week. We're easing into it. The Falcon is in the living room now, not the office. I built a display case for it. My son wrote a sign that says, "Don't touch or grandma gets banned again." We left it there. And I don't know how this whole thing is gonna shake out long-term. Maybe we make it, maybe we don't. But I'll tell you this, next time someone laughs at a grown man building Lego, I'm just gonna smile, because they probably have no idea what it means to build something that matters and protect it brick by brick. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story, hit subscribe. See you in the next one.